Greetings, readers and viewers. Welcome to this episode of the SuperBlog Versus. For those unaware, this is where I take this is where I give my predictions on WWE pay-per-views and kind of see how they stack up. And this is going to be the last of the entire year for me. This one's going to be WWE TLC 2020, the first one in the Superdome at the Tropicana Field. So, I'm just going to read this from Wikipedia and go from there. And I just want to say that as of 12:13 p.m. on December 19th, 2020, this is what I'm seeing as the actual card right now. Again, these things can change. So, I just want to put that out there. First up for the Raw Tag Team titles, we have The New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods versus The Hurt Business of Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. This one is going to be interesting for me. As much as I love The New Day, I love Xavier Woods, created for G4. I feel like the Hurt Business's time to at least capture the titles or at least be in the hunt for them. So I'll say this, if the Hurt Business don't win this one, then they'll at least get a disqualification so it'll keep the feud going a little bit longer. But I think for the Hurt, no disrespect to the New Day, but for the Hurt Business, if there's any time they need to be relevant, it's right now. Same could be said for the next matchup, SmackDown Women's Championship, Sasha Banks, the Boss, versus Carmella. Carmella's really reinvented herself, I think, and it's really been really well done in this regard. But how can you deny the ability of Sasha Banks? Now, while I will say that Carmella has the advantage as far as injuring the back or the side of Sasha Banks, I feel like Sasha Banks should retain. I think Carmella will be champion again one day. It just didn't happen here. Or if it does happen here, it'll be disqualification. So that's my thought on it. I'm going to go to the tag team match for the women's tag team titles. Asuka and a certain opponent and a certain individual against Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. All this is going to come down to that mystery challenger. If it is who I think it is, if I think it's Charlotte Flair, there's a lot of ways this could happen. I mean, Asuka and Charlotte could win. Asuka could be screwed over by Charlotte. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler could self-destruct. There's a lot of ways you could do this. I'm just feeling that if it is Charlotte, I feel like this one could go any way, but if I had to choose right now, I mean, Asuka's done a lot when it comes to the WWE, especially in this year, to not be given an opportunity with this. So I think that Asuka and the mystery opponent will win. But I think it's only going to be by disqualification, if anything. Or this could also set up Asuka's next opponent for TLC, for the Royal Rumble 2021. And we'll get to that when we get there. But if I had to do something, I'd have to say that Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler will win, if only by disqualification. The Fiend, Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton in a Firefly Inferno match? I think that I want to say that Randy Orton will win this one, but I wouldn't put it past the Fiend Bray Wyatt, because he's been so well done in this. I think that the Fiend will lose, only because of the fact that I can't see Randy Orton getting burned. Drew McIntyre versus AJ Styles in a tables, ladders, and chairs match for the WWE title. AJ Styles is a great wrestler. I have no doubt about that at all. Almost is going to be, almost I feel it's going to be a non-factor in this one because Drew McIntyre has been on such a roll as of late. He's been on such a roll. They'd be an not that I have anything against AJ Styles, but they'd be an absolute fool to force Drew McIntyre to drop the title on this. So I think Drew's going to win this one. And this one's another good one. Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman in a tables, ladders, and chairs match for the Universal Championship. I feel the same thing here that I did with Drew and Styles. I mean, I love Kevin Owens as a face, or as a heel. He's just a good wrestler. That said, I feel like he might be taking some time off to heal wounds or something. Because Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman have been on fire. Yes, Roman Reigns is on SmackDown, but he has been on fire. I hate to say it like this, but think about what Asuka's done for the women's division in this past year in 2020. You could say the same thing about Drew McIntyre on the Raw brand, but you could also say the same thing about Roman Reigns on the SmackDown brand too. So I think that they'd be a fool to take the title off of Roman Reigns this soon. So I'm going to say Roman Reigns wins against Kevin Owens. So again, I'm picking Drew, The Fiend, Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, Roman Reigns, Sasha Banks, and the Hurt Business. So I just want to say happy holidays to everyone who's been watching this. I'll get to the Advent Hope's going to be finishing up, and then I'll have my word of the year for this year. Okay, guys? So until then, this is Brian from the Autistic SuperBlog, which you can find on the autisticsuperblog.wordpress.com and also the Autistic Super channel on YouTube. So until then, Happy New Year. Be safe, be strong, and as always, shine on.